Big week for WoW, probably the biggest week before the launch of Midnight. That'll be the next big thing that happens. We got the final pre-patch. That's right, 2 phases of pre-patch this time around hitting this week. We'll get into that. Other things going on, of course. For all the classic Andes out there, they are currently playing WoW Burning Crusade Classics Classic. That's right, the Anniversary Edition is live, and everybody who's streaming right now is really streaming that. I'm the only guy streaming retail anymore because I like playing a dead game, evidently, but that's what the YouTube comments will tell you. But Classic Anniversary continuing on. People are enjoying that thing. This week, as I said, it's the final pre-patch update before Midnight actually launches. We are getting a ton of class changes this week, massive amount. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do this week because there are some things you should probably get done. But anyways, massive changes to your classes, damage meter updates, boss alert updates, and more all hitting this week. Also, you're going to notice all the changes for Midnight going into effect with this patch. So you're going to log in, new login screen. Again, it's an updated version of the Midnight login screen. All the maps are going to be ready for Midnight. So when you open up your map, Quel'Thalas, and everything's going to look much bigger now and all that. You won't see the update in the real world yet, but the maps and everything else, raid journals, all that shit's going to be in the game. So the game will be prepped for Midnight launch, which is happening for early access on the 26th. So guys, we're less than we're 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a couple days away from Midnight launching, believe it or not. So all that's happening. Yeah, and I forgot fuck you. At least they're not the Patriots getting dominated and their cheeks clapped on national television. Yeah, the Lions weren't there. They'll be there though. Don't worry. Watching Midnight Story so far, the trailer, that's right, there's a trailer that'll catch you up on the Midnight storyline if you want to get updated with that. Check it out if you haven't. Maybe you want to get it caught up on the Zalates storyline because that'll be important for Midnight. Also, Command the Sands, yes, if you want to, pay for Trader's Tender and shit on the WoW store and some transmog, you can do that up until March 2nd. That's when that package will no longer be available. Moving on, as I said before, patch notes abound. I'm talking class changes out the ass there. This is all class changes. All this shit is all the shit that's going live on Tuesday. If you think your class isn't being touched, you need to find yourself a little voodoo doll and tell the doctor where you've been touched because you probably forgot what's happened to yourself. Listen, tons of class changes coming in. All of the classes are going to play slightly different. Big buffs, big nerfs, all kinds of shit happening. So what should you be doing this week to find out exactly what is going on with your class? You should probably be running some dungeons. And I'm going to tell you guys what the best dungeons to run right now are based on what people are currently doing, right? We got the statistics of what people are running right now. And actually, there's a change up in the top dungeon right now where Eco Dome Eldani has really led the fray in terms of the most run dungeon this season. It's kind of flipped around a little bit towards the end here. So right now, the most run dungeon is Operation Floodgate. That's right, Operation Floodgate is taken over as the favorite post-season, right? Season's over, people just running whatever the fuck they want. Operation Floodgate leading the realm right now. Eco Dome Eldani just behind them. Then we got Halls of Atonement, Tazavesh, Streets, Priory of the Sacred Flame, Tazavesh again, the other one, Arakara, and the Dawnbreaker. So there you go. We got Streets of Wonder and, Solo's Gambit is the first Tazavesh that's there. So looking at these numbers right now, still actually the most completed dungeon, leading to success. 97.44% of keys run at Eco Dome Eldani are successful, meaning they get timed. A little bit lower on the top one. We got Operation Floodgate down at 94%, but that's all right because overall, actually, Operation Floodgate's at 92%, but overall, you're still seeing really high percentages in terms of completions. At the higher levels, 10 to 12 keys, you see a 68% overall completion rate, which is pretty damn good. You expect to see high numbers at this time. But what I'm basically telling you guys is when that patch hits, best thing to do is probably pick up your class and run some dungeons and see how your rotation works, see how it's all feeling. You want something easy or something popular right now, Operation Floodgate's the way to go. But overall, easiness, pretty nerfed across the board, all these dungeons feel right now. So get out there, get some dungeons completed, and see how your class feels for the rest of this season going into Midnight, because these changes are staying how they are. We're not getting anything else until after Midnight's launch and a patch down the line or something. This is how your class is going to play in the expansion. Now, I ain't no add-on Andy. I'm playing this game add-on free, and I've been telling you guys that for a while now. Totally raw dog and WoW right now. But if you want an add-on to kind of, see some really cool statistics on total degeneracy, I can support this one, okay? I don't want you guys downloading any add-ons. I think you should be raw dog in the game as well. But just to capture your full degeneracy, I'm okay with you guys downloading this add-on. So this add-on right here actually lets you see what's your favorite classes because it tracks all your classes played time, right? You could do your /played in the game, or you can download this add-on and see which class you've been playing and how much you've been playing, and even a total across all of your alts, how much of your life you've actually sunk and killed in this game. That's right. So maybe this is an add-on some people don't want to download. Maybe you don't want to know this information. But if you do, you can go ahead and download the add-on. I'll link this in the chat. I think it's called, Character Playtime Add-on. That's the name of it. You can go download it. I'll link this in the chat and down below if you want to follow the link to go download it. But it'll tell you across the board. The only hiccup with this add-on is that once you download it, you got to go log into every one of your tunes at least one time so it can log it. But other than that, once you've logged in, it knows /playtime going all the way back to when you made that character and can graph it out for you nicely like this. I'm kind of interested. I might download it just to see how much I've been playing. But moving on to World of Warcraft or World of Heartcraft. I don't know, World of Lovecraft, World of Pusscraft. I don't know what you want to call it, but Metzen doesn't want to call it Warcraft anymore. We've talked about this in the Holly Longdale Nina Hazakostas interview. It was brought up that basically, Chris Metzen had said it sometimes wishes that we hadn't called it Warcraft. It sounds intimidating. And this led to an uproar. I even talked about it when this was said. I was like, what does he mean? They want to take the war out of Warcraft literally now? We joke about it, but they want to take it. Like, that's how much they want to change this game. And the character, basically the player base, has had a big issue with this since it's been said. Basically, we saw Bellular posting about this, saying, I haven't seen one positive reaction to this interview, not one. Don't torch the Warcraft you have been chasing, because you have been chasing a version that only exists as a 20-year plan to capture as many people as possible. That's how you lose it all. So basically, everyone's saying, okay, you're out there trying to chase the cozy gamers and all that, maybe with player housing. You're out there trying to capture new people to get into this game. Don't forget what brought you here. Don't forget the grittiness of Warcraft that got you to 20 years of gameplay. The players that have been here since the very beginning. A lot of people feel disenfranchised by this comment. I think it probably should have never been said in the first place, at least out in public. This should have been something that was kept between Metzen and the others. But it was brought up. I think we'll see, hopefully, some more gritty shit in Midnight. We're supposed to take an L at some point in Midnight. See some big character deaths. I don't know. But I'm hoping for some returning of that feeling of existential crisis and actual war in Warcraft, and not just, we're a bunch of scaly boys holding each other's tails, finger popping each other like Dragonflight was, or really just kind of the lack of story that was in the War Within, because this just feels like a transition expansion. So Midnight and The Last Titan, I'm expecting story-wise to hit kind of hard. We'll see if it actually happens. I have good expectations for it. Hopefully I won't be let down, but we'll find out. Moving on to some funny glitches. Maybe you logged in over the weekend and saw this, but evidently, at some point after an Ulduar Legacy run, people came back to Dornagall and found out that all the guards and everybody located in Dornagall had absolutely ballooned in size. Now, we're not talking about player characters necessarily, unless they mounted up, but all the guards in Dornagall were absolutely massive. Nobody knows why this happened. There was no comment from Blizzard on it yet. But basically, we saw everything exploding, and this continued to happen. All the NPCs in Dornagall continued to grow that's a hell of a bug, out of control until the servers eventually crashed. It happened to some players. They were able to, once they mounted up, they grew and expanded as well. But essentially, this led to a complete server crash, and then the reset ended up fixing this. A hilarious bug. I usually like to report on these because most players would never see this otherwise, but a freaking funny bug. Again, no comment from Blizzard on it. Evidently, it got fixed once the server crashed from the sheer load that this was creating on the servers. Everything reset after that, but a freaking hilarious bug. Beware of running Legacy Ulduar runs. God knows what happens when you get back to Dornagall. And then finally, WoW players have been arguing since the beginning of time. No surprise here, but WoW players have been combative and loving and hating this game since before it even launched. That's right, there are old Reddit forums out there that still exist with links to old WoW forums. We're talking about WoW forums that existed pre-launch. Andreas, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge. Pre-launch of the actual vanilla WoW. People talking about PvE versus PvP, how they think this game compares to EverQuest. And Final Fantasy, yeah, that's freaking hilarious. Looking back at EverQuest being actual competition for World of Warcraft, if you remember, that was like the leader in MMOs at the time. Also talking about professions, people talking about how they actually think WoW is a little bit better because it shows you where a quest is on your map. Funny stuff. If you want to go back and read it, you can still do so. I'll link this and down below if you want to go to the old forums. Yeah, pre-Reddit, exactly, and see what the hell WoW players were talking about before WoW ever launched. Funny stuff indeed. Big week, as I said before. Time to get testing on those classes, boys. And for now, that is all in terms of news.